Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to talk to you guys about a very special character. Now this character you could say is new to the game, and a lot of people have been testing this character recently, and a lot of people have been asking me about this character. It's a female character, and people have been saying, Cynicalex, as a blast character, how good is this character? Should I invest in this character? Should I tier 2 this character? This character has been getting so much buzz lately, guys. People have been tier 2ing them. People have been clearing world boss with them and getting all these crazy highlights. And it's finally time that I follow suit, guys. I've done a lot of testing with this character in certain game modes, and I've come to the conclusion that this character is fantastic. From top to bottom, this is a really great character. And she's a great character for a lot of different reasons that we're going to get into, guys. But first, of course, we have to tier 2 ticket the character. We've been building this character up. We've been going through the hoops for this character and getting them set up to be tier 2'd. And it's finally time that we go ahead and tier 2 this character, guys. I know you've been waiting a really long time for this, and I can't say that I blame you, because I never thought I'd tier 2 this character, and I didn't think I would tier 2 this character so quickly, and yet here we are, guys. You know, this almost feels
See, you just told everyone your deepest, darkest secret.
So anyways, guys, Mantis is a badass. Yes, if you do not know already, if you haven't been catching the live streams, Celestial Madonna indeed, bros. Goddess of life. Oh yes, guys, I feel full of life when I'm playing as Mantis. And why exactly is Mantis so good? Well, I'll tell you why. It's all in the skill set, boys. Mantis is a fantastic character, and you know, although she's not as good as Agent Venom, she is very, very good, and I think we're going to see in the coming months just how powerful she is as far as PvP highlights go, as far as her domination in that arena, because she has so many iframes, she has so many fear and crowd control mechanics. She can essentially cover any stage of Shadowlands, and I don't say that lightly, guys. I tested Mantis in the new Avengers Rumble, which is notoriously difficult, that to this date only I think Robbie Reyes and a few others can cover successfully and consistently. She can solo rumbles into the teens. She can solo the Hulk rumble like Wasp, and she did all of this at tier 1. She can cover stage 24 of Shadowlands against Luke Cage without a damage leadership at tier 1, and it only gets better at tier 2. Her tier 2 passive increases her crit damage, which is going to increase those big hits when you get them, and it gives her 15% ignore defense. So if you don't have it capped already, you will after you tier 2 this character. On top of that, she gets a stat buff to her attack and her defense and her HP, so she becomes even more difficult to kill. On top of that, she still remains with that heal, that fantastic 5% when she's below 90, and that is far and away better than Gwenpool's heal, I've found, and it makes it extremely difficult to kill her with something as simple as an invincibility proc obelisk. Now this obelisk is far from perfect. The max HP is good, and the 3 seconds of invincibility is not bad, but it is tremendously difficult for Mantis to die. I couldn't die against Thanos. I barely died against Infinity Thanos, guys, with just one striker. The Mantis hype is real, guys. She has been overshadowed by Agent Venom, but she's a fantastic character, and I think she's going to make waves all on her own. So let's check her out really quickly, guys. Energy attack and ignore defense are both premium stats on her first gear. Energy defense is okay, skill cooldown is great, attack speed is okay, crit damage is good, and that's going to scale her crit damage percentage that she gets from her tier 2. And then she gets crit rate and movement speed. The only thing she's missing, of course, from this list is HP. She doesn't have that as an orange stat, so you will need to take mind of that and maybe build that into your obelisk like I did with max HP, because the more health she has, of course, the more hits she can take, but also the more health she's going to gain back, because it's 5% of the maximum. And it's really important to keep note of that for something like PvP. And that's what I initially had seen Mantis's potential in. In PvP, especially in Alliance tournaments and Alliance Conquest, your HP gets multiplied. So you can see characters with over 100,000 HP. It's much different than the native stats that you see here. So because of that, they're going to heal for a lot more. And because of those multiplicative bonuses, it's better to have max HP for those characters. So if you go and you look up a lot of top players, a lot of their PvP characters, Destroyer, Thanos, have max HP obelisks, and they also try to roll for max HP on their cards. And Mantis is a perfect recipient of that kind of ideology, that idea, because she benefits so much from all that boosted health point total, because her self-healing passive will just proc for even more. And the beauty of it is that it procs whenever, no matter what you're doing. Someone in the live stream asked me, you know, compare Mantis to Crystal. Crystal, if you guys don't know, was from the Inhumans update, and Crystal has a lot of crowd control abilities that help her basically cover almost any stage of Shadowlands. And she's a great character in her own right, and she has a self-boosting leadership. However, the two big differences between Crystal and Mantis are this. Mantis has a self-heal that procs no matter what you do. You could just be kiting and that heal's going to come up like Gwenpool. Crystal does not have that. So that's a huge bump in survivability. On top of that, Mantis has iframes. She has iframes on her 5th, 4th, and 2nd skills, but she also has slight iframes on her 1st and 3rd skills intermittently. So she's almost a full iframe rotation character. She can freeze and lock up opponents in timeline because they just can't target her because she's constantly iframing like Robbie Reyes. And she has so many ways of crowd controlling that just makes her fantastic for Shadowlands. And that's where someone like Crystal will not shine, because if you're iframing with attacks like Energy Sawtooth and Backleap, you will not take reflect damage. So even though Mantis is an energy attacking character, as we can see there from that first stat, and even though she deals energy damage with Energy Sawtooth, she will not be hurt by Destroyer because she's in an iframe. That's really important. As the game progresses and as we see more reflect meta, because we probably will see more of that, we got Destroyer, we got Doctor Strange, we got Luke Cage, we got Dormammu. I think it's going to be one of the main counters to this big burst damage meta that we have right now. And then iframes will be a direct counter to that reflect meta. Now, of course, her damage is not burst potential, so it's kind of like a triangle. On the top, you have burst damage. On the left, you have reflect, which is a very defensive stat. And then on the right, you have low damage, consistent damage, and protection from reflect through iframes. And it's really, really important, guys. She's probably not going to get a uniform anytime soon, but I still think she's a fantastic character and one that I would recommend you guys invest in, despite the fact that the Blast class is so heavy right now. I do think that Mantis is one of the best characters in the Blast class. Of course, she takes a seat to Doctor Strange, Enchantress, and Sharon Rogers, but with the remaining characters on the list, I think she puts up a pretty good fight for the very next spot, especially considering that she can do so many different things. She's probably one of the best characters, period, to invest in at tier 1 for Shadowlands because of how versatile and flexible she is. And judging by the clips that you guys have been seeing this whole time, she is the real deal, and it only gets better at tier 2, and I can't wait to see just how powerful she becomes at tier 2 with the extra stats from that bump and that ascension. As far as an ISO 8 set goes for Mantis, if you were going to equip one, I think an attack set is not a bad idea if you're going to do PvE content, but I think if you're going to take her all the way to PvP content, probably the best obelisk for her would be something like drastic density enhancement, so she gets that HP shield that will help her when her invincibility proc on her obelisk is not up, to mitigate incoming damage so that her heal can keep bringing her back up to 90%, and then if it gets taken down again, her invincibility proc from her obelisk can, protect her again. Similarly, I think that this obelisk is very good for her, despite the fact that it's only 4 stars. Of course, you'd want a 6-star obelisk version of this with 5 seconds of invincibility, maybe double max HP or max HP plus recovery rate, so she can gain her HP back faster. But recovery rate is actually not that important for Mantis. I just want to make that clear to you guys. I don't personally think it's super important for her because she only gets that heal up to 90%. So past 90% she won't get that. So you're really ramping something up that's going to happen either way. And so you can use that slot instead of the 40 or 50% recovery rate you can get to cover something else like more HP, maybe crit rate if you want some more damage, perhaps immunity to snare or stun or fear, whichever one you think is important or which one you get, because I mean perfect obelisks are very hard to come by. As far as Uru for her, I would say that I think HP Urus are a good idea, as well as energy attack Urus. You can also go the route of energy attack plus like crit rate or crit damage if you want to really ramp up her DPS. But I do want to see, and I do want to forward the idea of her as a viable threat in PvP. The iframes plus the heal plus all of the crowd control, the fear, and all that good stuff is really interesting to me, and I think we can build a little bit of a meta around it, guys. The Mantis meta potentially is here, but we'll have to wait and see, guys. So let me know what you think of Mantis. Let me know how you're getting on with her, and let me know what you thought of those Shadowlands highlights, because that shit was crazy. And of course, guys, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.